Back to the deep dive. So if you've been following the news at all, really, over the last year, you've seen these extraordinary advancements in generative AI.
Oh, absolutely. It's everywhere.
Right. And these algorithms they're not just writing poetry anymore. They are actively stepping into some very high-stakes territory, specifically legal services.
Highly regulated territory.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep into a question that we're hearing from, corporate counsel all the way down to individual users.
And that question is, can you trust AI with legal advice?
That's the one. We looked at a massive stack of sources, articles, industry reports, academic papers, all examining this exact intersection. I mean, the systems we're seeing now can draft complex contracts.
In minutes.
They can analyze thousands of pages of case law, predict litigation outcomes. It sounds, honestly, like the perfect tireless junior associate.
It does sound like that. And that immediate utility, that's what makes this whole topic so compelling, but also, so dangerous. I think our mission today has to be about defining the boundary. Where does this incredible tech assistance end, and where does that non-negotiable human accountability begin?
So a thesis right up front.
A thesis right up front. AI is a powerful productivity tool, but it absolutely should not, under any circumstances, replace a licensed practicing attorney. The distinction is it's crucial.
A productivity tool versus a trusted advisor.
Exactly. You might use it to organize your thoughts, maybe translate some legal jargon, but you cannot use it to make a high-stakes legal decision. That's the key insight you have to walk away with.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're separating the current verifiable utility from the critical and, frankly, very costly limitations. Let's start with the good stuff.
Right, give the devil its due.
The upside here is immense, especially when you talk about speed and scale. I mean, AI's primary game-changing strength is its ability to just process mountains of data.
At a speed, that is. It's just not human. It's revolutionary. What used to take teams of paralegals weeks, traditional research or discovery review.
Now it happens in minutes. So where does that speed translate into real measurable savings for businesses or, for an individual?
Well, the most immediate benefit is in volume reduction and just foundational organization. Think about the early stages of a big transaction or a lawsuit.
Okay.
For a business, AI is a lifesaver during due diligence for, say, a merger. You might have to sift through millions of emails or contracts looking for specific risk clauses.
And the AI can just pull those out.
It identifies and categorizes them instantly. The amount of billable human hours saved is it's enormous.
And it's not just document review, is it?
No, not at all. We're seeing huge savings in regulatory compliance.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a small business operating internationally, keeping track of changing data privacy laws like, GDPR or CCPA amendments. It's overwhelming.
It's a full-time job.
It is. AI can summarize these new statutes, check them against your existing contracts, and then flag the areas that need immediate human attention. It's way beyond just defining a trademark.
So it's not just making the law more understandable. It's making the practice of law way more efficient. If you're a startup founder, for instance, you could use AI to get like an 80% complete draft of an NDA.
Exactly. Or a quick summary of environmental regulations in your state.
So you walk into your attorney's office prepared. The lawyer spends less time on basic research and more time on high-value strategy.
That's it. AI is, in a way, democratizing that initial access to legal knowledge. But this speed, this ability to generate plausible-sounding text so quickly.
Here comes the but.
Here's the critical pivot. Speed is great, but only if it's paired with unwavering accuracy, judgment, and strategy. And those are the human elements AI simply cannot provide.
Which brings up the accountability issue.
Yeah.
We have to shift from just information processing to the human and ethical side of legal practice. Let's talk brass tacks. Liability.
Liability is the absolute non-negotiable difference. When you hire an attorney, you're buying into a relationship that's based on professional duty. That person has a law license. They're subject to ethical rules. They have malpractice insurance. If they give you bad advice, they are legally accountable for that.
And the AI.
The AI does none of those things.
Yeah.
It holds no license. It can't represent you in court. And if it's advice, let's say an analysis that leads to you missing a deadline is flat out wrong. There's no professional body to report the algorithm to. The software has zero legal liability.
So the risk falls.
The risk transfers entirely onto you, the user.
Okay, but let me push back on that a little because here's where it gets interesting. If a human lawyer uses an AI tool to help draft a motion, doesn't their malpractice insurance now implicitly cover the AI's mistake? I mean, isn't the lawyer taking full responsibility for the machine's output the second they verify and submit it?
That is precisely the case.
Eh?
And it completely shifts the nature of the lawyer's work. It means the lawyer is no longer just being paid to research the law.
They're being paid to audit the machine.
They're paid to audit the machine. They are checking for errors, that the machine might have literally invented errors a human would never make, like fabricating case law. This is why that human element is just. It's non-negotiable.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because the stakes of getting this wrong they're monumental. We're talking real-world scenarios. Our sources detailed some steep consequences. Can you give us a vivid, high-risk example?
Absolutely. Consider a small business being sued for breach of contract. They ask an AI to calculate the discovery deadlines in their specific state jurisdiction.
Okay, seems simple enough.
Right. But the AI, drawing on generalized data, it misinterprets a recent state Supreme Court ruling about service of process, and it calculates the deadline as 30 days later than it actually is.
Oh, no.
The client files their response based on the AI's advice and completely misses the real, critical filing deadline.
And the consequence for that isn't just a slap on the wrist.
Not even close. That error can lead to a default judgment. You could instantly lose the entire case, potentially owing hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking about losing your business, your IP, or even facing criminal penalties if it's a compliance issue.
Whereas a human attorney would have immediately cross-referenced that specific state statute and the court docket.
They're trained to verify everything. It's second nature.
That takes us neatly into the two major risks that, really prevent AI from being a sole advisor. The first one, and this is the big technical hurdle, is accuracy, or the lack of it. We call it hallucination.
Right, but you, the listener, need to understand why this happens. It's a critical technical distinction. These AIs, these large language models, or LLMs, they are not built like a traditional legal database, like a Westlaw or a LexisNexis.
Which are designed for verification.
Exactly. LLMs are trained to predict the next most linguistically plausible word in a sentence. They prioritize coherence and fluency over factual truth.
So it's about what sounds right, not what is right.
Precisely. So if you ask the AI for a specific ruling from a, say, 1990s environmental case that supports your argument, and maybe that argument is statistically common but factually wrong.
The AI doesn't say, I can't find that.
No. It generates a perfectly worded case name, a docket number, a summary that sounds absolutely accurate. But the entire case is a complete fabrication, a hallucination.
It's acting like a perfectly confident liar.
A confident liar that doesn't even know it's lying. The output is just disastrous for the user. If you submit a legal motion citing a case that doesn't exist, the judge will toss it, and your human lawyer will face sanctions.
And that flaw prioritizing plausible text is just fundamental to how these models work right now.
It is, and that leads directly into the second major risk, jurisdiction. The legal landscape is a patchwork quilt.
Yeah, laws vary wildly.
By country, by state, even by county. An AI tool that's trained on global general principles is highly likely to give you advice that's generalized, non-actionable, or just outright wrong for your specific location.
Our sources were really clear that this is a silent killer in legal risk. You might ask the AI, what's the standard contract clause for termination for convenience?
And it will give you a beautiful boilerplate clause.
Right. But that clause might be perfectly enforceable in Delaware, but totally invalidated by specific consumer protection laws in, say, Illinois or Florida.
It's not just about knowing the law exists. It's about knowing how it's applied. An attorney practices within a specific living legal ecosystem. They understand how the legislature recently changed a statute, how local courts are interpreting it, and critically, what precedents their specific circuit judge tends to follow. An AI might give you the national average.
But your local attorney knows Judge Smith's history on that exact issue.
And knows how to tailor the language to that specific context. That depth of localized applied strategy is, for now, way beyond the capabilities of even the most advanced AIs.
So what does this all mean? For you listening, someone who's eager to use this powerful technology, let's talk about how to integrate it responsibly.
It's important to internalize that AI is not going anywhere.
Not at all. Its role in legal services will just keep growing. It'll make research more efficient, discovery cheaper. But the ultimate decision-making, the strategic choices,
And the final verification.
all of that has to remain human-driven.
Yep.
So for you, the correct way to use this is as a preparation and productivity tool, an information sorter, not an oracle.
Exactly. Use AI to prepare intelligent, sophisticated questions for your attorney. That saves you money. Use it to understand complex terminology so you aren't paying a lawyer a few $100s an hour to define tort or estoppel.
Use it to get your ducks in a row.
Yes.
How?
Organize your initial documents, your facts, into a coherent timeline. This lets your human attorney jump straight into strategy, which is where they provide the real value.
And we should probably stress again where that human is just essential.
Absolutely essential. You need a human expert when you're making high-stakes decisions. Settling a major case, filing a lawsuit, negotiating a binding financial agreement, or protecting your intellectual property.
Things that require nuance.
Nuanced interpretation of specific facts and a strategic understanding of human opposition. Those are skills AI just doesn't have.
So what does this all mean? It means embrace AI as the most powerful research tool we've ever seen. It means optimizing the front end of your legal work to save time and money.
Good.
But it emphatically means recognizing that human accountability, judgment, and that localized strategic context, that is your non-negotiable insurance against catastrophic legal error.
And that leads us to a final provocative thought for you to consider as you navigate this rapidly changing landscape.
Okay.
We've established that because of the risks hallucination, jurisdiction of human attorney is absolutely required to review, verify, and ultimately sign off on any AI output.
Right, that step is mandatory.
It cannot be skipped. So if that's true, what impact does the widespread adoption of AI truly have on the cost and speed of traditional legal services? Does it just shift the billable hours from research to auditing, or will it force a fundamental restructuring of how lawyers charge for their time?
It's a great question to mull over. Use these tools wisely. Use these sources to inform your next steps, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.